Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're heading somewhere really extraordinary, a place in India that often gets overlooked.
That's right.
And this deep dive, it's quite unique, actually. It was sparked by a real traveler's discovery, someone who just stumbled onto something amazing. Our mission. Well, it's to unpack the layers of this city. It's not on every tourist map, but it's incredibly rich. History, culture, some really surprising details.
Definitely.
So get ready, because this is kind of an unexpected journey, a bit like the one this American traveler, Jake, took.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how a city that seems, well, quiet on the surface can hold such immense historical weight. And cultural, spiritual significance, too.
Yeah.
What we're looking at today is really a living legacy. It's a place where the past isn't just locked away in museums. It breathes. It's part of daily life.
That's a great way to put it.
It shows that history isn't just, old facts. It's vibrant, it's present, especially in places like Jaunpur.
That idea of a living legacy really comes through in Jake's story. So what does this mean for you listening? Well, try to imagine stepping off that usual tourist trail.
Right.
Into a place where, ancient buildings are still standing strong, a city really shaped by its rivers, and the food. Unique culinary delights we'll get into. Plus, this powerful sense of community pride you can almost feel.
It's quite tangible there.
Okay, so let's dive in with this story. It starts with Jake Thompson. He's a history enthusiast from Oregon in the U.S. And like a lot of people planning their first big India trip, he had that standard checklist, right? The Taj Mahal, naturally. Yeah. Palaces in Jaipur, the backwaters down in Kerala. Pretty classic stuff.
The highlights tour, yeah. Very common.
But fate, or maybe just a really chatty cab driver in Varanasi, had different ideas.
The chatty cab driver. Often the source of unexpected wisdom.
Exactly. This driver pointed him towards somewhere totally off his radar, a city called Jaunpur. Jake later said it felt like almost destiny, an accidental discovery. And his first impression, he told us, man, Jaunpur hit me differently. It wasn't flashy, he said, but it was full of soul.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Full of soul. And if you look at the history, you can see why.
Tell us about that.
Well, Jaunpur's foundation goes way back. It was established in 1359. Firoz Shah Tughlaq founded it.
Okay.
And he named it after his cousin, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, whose actual name was Jaunpur, hence Jaunpur.
Got it.
But it really hit its peak under the Sharqi dynasty. That was between 1394 and 1479. It became their capital.
Right.
And during that time, honestly, it rivaled Delhi in terms of power, culture, influence. It was a major center.
And you can still see traces of that grandeur, right, in the buildings Jake saw.
Absolutely. The architecture is stunning.
Like the Atala Masjid. He described that one vividly, a 15th century masterpiece built around 1408.
Yes, a prime example of Sharqi architecture. That blend of Indo-Islamic style.
Yeah.
It has a real presence, a spiritual tranquility about it.
And then there's a Shahi bridge. This one blew my mind. Built in 1568.
By the Mughals, yes, under Emperor Akbar.
And it's still standing strong. People still use it.
They do. Still serving traffic today. Think about that. A bridge from the 16th century is still a vital part of the city's infrastructure. It's remarkable.
Just incredible. Are there other key sites like that?
Oh, definitely. Besides those two, you've got the Jama Masjid. That's the Grand Friday Mosque. Really striking arches, beautiful calligraphy.
Okay.
There's also the Lal Darwaza Masjid. It's smaller, but the detail is exquisite. And for the real history buffs, the ruins of the Jaunpur Fort, the Shahi Kila, are pretty evocative. You really get a sense of that medieval past standing there.
Now, this next bit Jake mentioned really caught my attention. He called Jaunpur a city of 5 rivers.
Yes, that's a key geographical feature. The Gomti, Sai, Varuna, Pilinadi, and Basui.
5. And he said the locals don't just see them as rivers, they call them lifeline.
Exactly. They're seen as having witnessed history unfold. Kings, poets, revolutions, all happening along their banks. And these rivers, they tie directly into the city's deeper spiritual side, especially the Sanatan or Hindu traditions. They're really integral to the city's whole pulse.
Jake definitely felt that. He visited the Chaukiya Devi temple, Sheetla Chaukiya Dham.
Ah, yes, a very important site.
He said it's a revered Shakti Peeth, one of those really sacred goddess sites.
Yeah.
Surrounded by nature, and he saw just a profound devotion there. Said it was quite humbling.
It is. Sheetla Mata is a significant goddess believed to protect people from diseases from negative influences. Thousands of Hindu devotees visit, especially during certain times of the year.
So Sanatan Dharma is very present.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
It's woven into daily life. You see regular celebrations like Navratri, Durga Puja, various yagnas. Those are sacred fire rituals,
No.
lots of bhajan kirtans, devotional singing,
Right.
and the landscape is dotted with ancient temples too.
Mm.
Shiv temples, Hanuman mandirs, ashrams. It's deeply rooted.
But what really struck Jake, despite these strong Sanatan roots, was the harmony. He mentioned how both Hindu and Muslim festivals, Diwali, Eid, Holi, Chath, Muharram, they're all celebrated together with real enthusiasm.
That's the Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb you hear about, that composite culture.
Exactly. He used that phrase, said it felt like a living example of unity.
It's a beautiful aspect of Jaunpur's character.
And it wasn't just history and spirituality. Jake also noticed this, like youthful energy.
Yes. Where did he see that?
He mentioned TD College, that's apparently a century-old institution, and also Purvanchal University, Veer Bahadur Singh Purvanchal University, I think it's called.
Or VBSPU. It's a major university for that whole region, eastern Uttar Pradesh.
He found it kind of inspiring seeing students walking around full of energy under the skyline that, medieval sultans once dominated.
That connection is powerful, isn't it? Between the deep history and modern education. Jaunpur has always had this reputation, actually, an educational and literary hub for eastern UP. And that intellectual side feeds directly into a really rich cultural scene. You've got folk music, soulful qawwalis, classical singing traditions, and even its own distinct local dialect, Jaunpuri Bhojpuri. It's a place where learning and culture just naturally intertwine.
Okay, we have to talk about the food, because Jake's descriptions were just, wow.
I bet. What stood out?
First off, he claims he saw the biggest radish of his entire life there,
Yeah.
said it was nearly the size of his forearm.
Laugh slightly. That's quite a radish. It speaks to the agriculture there, right? Those fertile river plains we talked about?
Must be. And then, Imarti, have you had this?
Oh, yes. It's special.
He called it not just dessert, it's an art form. Crispy on the outside, syrupy inside, made in ghee, served traditionally in a leaf bowl. He was raving about it. Pure magic, he said.
It really is something else. A true Jaunpuri specialty.
And for breakfast, kachori sabzi. He said that combo beat any brunch he'd ever had back in the States.
A classic North Indian breakfast. Simple but incredibly satisfying.
Then there was this other discovery, Itra. Traditional perfumes.
Ah, the attars. Yeah.
He wandered into this tiny shop, and the air was just filled with these amazing natural scents. Rose, jasmine, sandalwood, no chemicals, he emphasized.
That's the traditional method. Pure, natural distillations.
He loved them so much, he bought 6 bottles.
I can understand why. It's interesting, though, how these unique local things, the giant radishes, the Imarti, the Atreya, they all connect back to the broader local economy.
How so?
Well, while these are delightful specifics, the bigger picture is that it's largely an agrarian economy. Rice, wheat, pulses, sugarcane are major crops. And then you have local industries like handicrafts, which includes making those traditional perfumes. It all fits together.
That makes sense. But Jake said his most profound takeaway, the thing that stuck with him more than anything else,
What was that?
it was the pride of the local people.
Ah, yes.
He said, everyone in Jaunpur knows their city is special, even if the world hasn't caught on yet.
That's beautifully put.
He described it as this, quiet confidence. You see it in their stories, their smiles, their hospitality.
That really sums it up well. Jaunpur isn't just a city of monuments, is it? It's this living, breathing blend. History, spirituality, culture, all mixed together.
Yeah.
It offers this deeply authentic experience. Both Sanatan and secular, that Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb we mentioned, lived out naturally.
And Jake's final word, his promise to anyone listening.
What?
He said, if you want to feel India's heart, skip the tourist trail. Go to Jaunpur. I promise. It'll stay with you.
That's a powerful endorsement. And I think it speaks volumes. Jaunpur leaves this enduring impression, It really challenges your typical travel ideas.
Definitely.
It rewards that curiosity, that willingness to step off the beaten path with something truly deep and authentic. A real glimpse into India's incredible cultural tapestry.
It's true. He went looking for monuments, but found a city actually living its legacy.
Exactly.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about looking beyond the obvious guidebook entries.
It does.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. In a world just overflowing with information, how do we find our own chatty cab driver moments?
Interesting question.
Those unexpected serendipitous encounters that lead us somewhere completely new, to hidden gems maybe, and a much deeper understanding, something to ponder perhaps?